Around once a week after work, Michael Bond drives 5 kilometres from his home in Melbourne's west to the nearest public charger.
It's not something that you enjoy, particularly in the winter.
He doesn't have off-street parking, and it's illegal to run an extension cord out to the street.
It would be nice to have the option to do it at home, but we just don't.
It's just one of the teething problems of electric vehicles. As the transition away from fossil fuel cars finally takes off, from just a few thousand on the road in 2019 to tens of thousands now, and almost doubling by the year.
We've seen overseas studies that have indicated that the inability to charge the car at home is one of the leading factors in people who have bought an EV going back to a petrol-driven car.
Charging on the highways is also still patchy. Michael can't yet drive down Victoria's Great Ocean Road.
You have to plan a lot in advance to see, can I make it to the next charger? And if that's not working when I get there, what's my plan B?
There are still definitely a lot of gaps within the network.
ChargeFox is one of the private networks rolling out chargers around the country. They're finding it tough too.
Every country wants chargers, so there's desire there, there's funding there, there's a lot of organisations that want to install it, but sometimes we just can't get our hands on the chargers.
The gaps are being filled slowly, but it's a different story state by state.
Queensland has just announced a round of funding for a large number of sites. South Australia is rolling out high-power fast charging in a range of locations. Western Australia has rolled out a plan to cover the entire perimeter of the state. You can't drive more than about 50 kilometres in Tasmania without passing a high-power fast charger.
On raw number of chargers, Victoria appears to be keeping pace, but they're highly concentrated in the city and patchy in the regions. In fact, the Electric Vehicle Council ranks Victoria at or near the bottom on almost every measure of EV policy.
The New South Wales State Government has committed over $200 million. In Victoria, the funding level is a little under $20 million. Now, Victoria is not quite as populous or as large as New South Wales, but neither is it 10 times smaller.
Victoria is also the nation's test lab for the controversial road user charge, the tax that will eventually replace fuel excise as petrol vehicles disappear from the roads.
Victoria is a state where the introduction of the road user charge for EVs was brought on very, very fast. Other states have made announcements that they will bring in a road user charge, but in future they're going to give EVs a chance to gain some momentum before introducing a new mechanism of tax against them.
New South Wales, Tasmania and Western Australia are still planning to introduce a road user charge. South Australia's new Labor government axed its plans altogether. And Victoria's road user charge has its critics. 2 EV owners are currently challenging it in the High Court. Michael Bond is happy to pay it, for now.
When the infrastructure isn't there, by all means charge me the fee, but let's do something with it early rather than wait.